Hello and welcome back to my channel with a new video. Sorry, I was laughing at my cat behind me. She's going a bit crazy today. Yeah. Welcome to my channel. This is Nora. And that's my cat Sushi, or I call her Tuti now. So I've been watching a lot of food stuff on Netflix, because that's what you do when you in a quarantine. In quarantine as fuck sometimes. So I've been watching a lot of food videos, not videos, like shows and stuff times, but it made me do this video. It made me want to do this video. I felt like a lot of people, I've been watching a specific one called, what is it? I'll put the title of it here because I totally forgot the name of it. But it actually talks about street food, like about every country's street food. It's more about like also the people behind the food, but I think a lot of people don't know about Lebanese food, which is such a waste. Or a lot of people never had really good Lebanese food, because Lebanese food in here is not really great. It's not as good as the Lebanese food you get, there. I never really had really like 100% the legit Lebanese food. If I want to eat Lebanese food, I usually cook it at home because it feels more authentic than just getting it somewhere. Lebanese food here is just, a lot of the times it's trash, or maybe you can get close to it, but it's not as good. Also, I think a lot of people get confused between Lebanese food and other foods, which I will get into. Maybe a lot of people will hate me after this video, and I'm totally fine with it. You know what? It's okay, because I'm about to clear things up, and I think it's important to talk about that as well. See my shirt first, because I'm really happy with it. Like, come on, it looks really good. I got it from Etsy, from like a Lebanese shop. Anyways, I have heard a lot of Americans, when they talk about Middle Eastern food, or like specifically falafel, we call it falafel in Lebanon, just saying, or hummus, or kebab, or blah blah blah, or that good stuff. They usually think it's Israeli. Let's make this clear. A lot of it usually originates from Lebanon and Syria, or the places around it. Israel is a new country. It's a new it's like America. You can't say pasta, for example, is American. Every single person knows pasta comes from Italy. There's not really even a necessity to clear that up, because everyone knows this. But I feel for Lebanese food, I think it's very important to clear things up, because a lot of people don't know where that originates from, and they get confused. I mean, yeah, Israelis eat that food now, but it doesn't originate from there. There's a lot of Lebanese Jews that live in Israel, and it's part of their culture, but I think it's very important to talk about where it comes from, and it doesn't come from, Israel doesn't mean anything if you say it comes from Israel. It's like I said, it's like saying pasta comes from America. I mean, yeah, a lot of Italian Americans live in US. It's part of their culture, but it doesn't mean it comes from America. It doesn't mean it comes from the United States. Same thing with Israel. We have Lebanese Jews there. We have Syrian Jews there. We have Moroccan Jews there. You have, what else? European Jews there. German, Russian. It doesn't really mean anything if you say falafel comes from Israel. There's not really something called Israeli food. It's just a bunch of everyone got their culture and now they do it there. There's something called Jewish food, which is like what is it? Matzo ball, is that it? And other stuff, but we're talking about Lebanese food now. I think it's very important to talk about where it comes from. Like hummus, a lot of people think it comes from Israel because you have the sabra hummus thingy. And actually it doesn't even taste as close as the original one. It's not as good. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It just meh to me. The original one is way better. I mean, usually the original food is usually the best, you know, kind of food. Also, it's like, you know, taking a pizza. You'll probably taste the best pizza in Italy because it comes from there. You have also really good pizzas in US. You have the Chicago pizza, you have the New York pizza. I'm not a big fan of New York pizza. Don't come at me. I don't really like New York pizza. I think it's very oily. I taste oil and it gives me such a acid reflux afterwards. I mean, the Chicago pizza also gives me acid reflux, let's say that. It's a lot of tomato sauce, a lot of cheese, but I still prefer eating Chicago pizza. I think it has more flavor, just not oil in your mouth. But I mean, you're gonna probably taste the best pizza in Italy. It's very, you know, very obvious. I think it should be also obvious for Lebanese food that when people say hummus, they think of Lebanon. When we talk about falafel or falafel, we think immediately about Lebanon. When we talk about tabbouleh, we think of Lebanon. When we talk about a lot of things, we think of Lebanon. Israelis also eat that food, and as a Lebanese, I'm proud with my food. So let's talk about the first thing that is Lebanese that I love. It's falafel. Falafel is it's just chickpeas, a bunch of other stuff. I don't do it at home. It's kind of hard to do it at home, I think. I don't know. But I never really had a good falafel place here in US. To be honest, the best falafel is in Lebanon. I never had good ones. I never tried other countries, but the ones in the US are just not really good. It's always mushy in the inside and the outside. It's just a blob of food. But in Lebanon, you have it this crispy from the outside and really like soft from the inside, how it should be. And we put it usually in a sandwich with tahini, with lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, in a pita bread. Pita bread is also very known in the Middle East, also in Lebanon. And you get the perfect sandwich or wrap, as they call it here. We call it in Lebanon a sandwich. Even if it's a wrap, we still call it a sandwich. Someone was actually arguing with me that it's not a sandwich, it's a wrap. We call it a sandwich, sandwich. Also, we have the tabbouleh, best salads. The salads in Lebanon, let me tell you, we don't have those unnecessary sauces, that mayo. They're good, but it's just too much, I feel, and it's not as good and not as fresh as if you put just olive oil, a bit of, lemon juice and stuff. Tabbouleh is very, very simple. It has parsley, tomatoes, and burghul. If you know, I think that's how you say it. We say it in Lebanese, burghul. Very tasty. My brother usually called it cow food because it's very vegetarian-y. But it's really good and healthy. Also, we have the fattoush. Very also Lebanese thing. Maybe the things I'm saying, maybe they do it in other countries, but they're also very known, and we have done it for years and years, and maybe it comes from the Lebanon area. Lebanon, that's the thing, Lebanon was not Lebanon. We were basically with like Syria kind of. Everything we have, Syrians also kind of have it. It comes from the same, you know, place. A lot of foods I'm talking about also, it comes from Syria. Maybe that also comes from Iraq, but you know, it's been so long that we've been doing it that it just comes from this place, just the Middle East. The fattoush, it's just cucumber, lettuce, tomatoes, just very basic. It has garlic, lemon juice, olive oil, salt. Very simple and very healthy. We have hummus. It's not hummus. I mean, if you can say the ham, I guess hummus is acceptable, but it's usually hummus is a bit h, and it's not h, it's h. It's like in the middle. Damn, that biscuit was good. It's just made, basically, I feel like a lot of people know what hummus is. Hummus is, it's just chickpeas mainly with bunch of lemon juice and other stuff. And what is weird here that they eat it as a snack. At home, back home, we don't eat it as a snack, we eat it as an appetizer more. I've never seen someone just pull up just like a hummus plate and start eating it very casually. Never seen that, and I start seeing that here, just like as they go, like as a snack, they eat hummus with those chips, pita chips. We usually eat it with normal pita. It's not toasted or anything. It's just the bread. We eat it as an appetizer before, you know, the main dish. So it's not a snack thing. Also, what else? Lebanese food. We have also something called kibbeneh. I'm not a big fan of. I want to make sure it's like mainly Lebanese. I'm not sure if it's like other people do it as well, but I think it's mainly Lebanese. I've never heard of other places do it. If I'm wrong, please correct me. It's basically just raw meat. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of meat in general. If you give me raw meat, of course I won't be a fan of that. So it's basically raw meat with like spices in it and olive oil on top. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. We usually also eat it with a piece of bread, pita bread, but a lot of people like it and love it. I've seen a lot of people like being such huge fan of this. My dad is one of them, but the other, like my mom and my brothers and me, do not like it. We just are not a big fan of meat in general. Here, if you give someone raw meat, they look at you very weirdly. In Lebanon, it's such a normal thing that we have this dish. I never really thought about that this is raw meat. And when I came here, it's like everyone saying how disgusting, like who would eat raw meat, and then I remember that we have a dish of just raw meat. And it's so strange. I thought, oh my god, we're just savages and barbaric people, but it is a normal thing that we have. Okay, so we have the wara anab. Wara anab is such a Lebanese thing. I think other countries do it. I'm not sure where it comes from, but I know that it's just an Arab thing. It comes from the Arab world. It's basically grape leaves, and inside stuffed grape leaves. There's rice, and usually in my specific family, we don't put meat in there because we do not like meat. But usually some people like to do it without or with. A lot of people like to put meat in there. Not a big fan. I kind of hate it when there's meat in it. That's what anab lahme means, with meat. And without bezet means it's just without meat, basically. And yeah, the without meat, it's superb. I love it. It's actually one of my favorite foods. My mom does it really nicely. It's just amazing. I think it's just my mom's that I really love, and my grandma. My grandma does it really well too. It's very, usually when I eat it outside, whenever it's here or in Lebanon, they make it kind of dryish. But in our family, we make it very juicy, and put some potatoes and tomato with it. I feel like I never really had good grape leaves outside of our family, really. I never had good ones. I never liked them. But once that my mom does it, or my grandma, I'm like all about that. We also have manaish. Manaish is basically a breakfast thing. It's very Lebanese. It's a dough. It's kind of like empanadas. If you have tried empanadas before, it's just like that, but like I love it more than empanadas, to be honest. But because I know I tried really like I tried old empanadas, they weren't fresh, so that's why I didn't like empanadas as much. I bet they are way better when they're fresh. But I got it like an old, 1 day old one. Like the cheese not gonna taste good, but it's just like empanadas, but the dough is a bit different, and we don't fry it. I think the empanadas they fry it, right? So we don't fry it. We put it in a huge ass what do they say, furon? Like a kind of it's not oven. It's like a huge, I'll put a picture of it there. It's really good. It makes the dough way better. It's like sometimes they put pizza in there too. I think they have that in Italy as well. And we have those in every single street in Lebanon. Usually they open for breakfast. We have ones that are filled with cheese, and we have ones that are filled with za'atar. What else we do? I want to talk about shawarma, but shawarma, it's not a Lebanese thing. We make it a lot there, but it doesn't come from Lebanon. It comes from Turkey. I never had shawarma in Turkey before, so I think that's like basically it that I want to talk about today. The video has turned out so long. Maybe I'll do part 2. I kind of just talked about food that I love the most, excluding the kibine, the raw meat one, but most of those I love the most, and most of them are breakfast or just appetizers. We haven't been to the main dish yet, and we're proud to say it God. And we're proud to say that it comes from Lebanon or like Syria or the Arab world, and we love what we do. If you like this video, please thumbs up. If you don't like it, well, I'm sorry, thumbs down. It helps either way, really. And if you want to see more of this content about Lebanon, about other random shit, please subscribe. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just art. If you like art, if you appreciate art, if you're just a fan of art, if you're an artist yourself, please feel free to follow. So thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate that for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.